In the wake of the Acolyte's cancellation, one actor has decided to try and cash in at her ex-husband's expense. It's the kind of story that makes a lot of men think twice before saying yes to marriage. Hello, I'm Marvin, and I'm the Movie Monster. Gentlemen, please think long and hard before you pop the question. The most important question you'll ever ask in your entire life. The question of, will you marry me? Now, if you're one of the Tooney faithful out there considering taking the marriage plunge, I want you to take a quick moment to think. Right now, I want you to think about the woman you're about to join your life to, and ask yourself one very important question. Is she Acolyte actress Jodie Turner-Smith? And if she is, well then... Run, big brother, you like this man! You all remember Jodie, right? Hold on, maybe this'll help.
Yes.
That's right, it's our old friend, Mama Yes, from The Acolyte. Now remember Charlie Conway from the Mighty Ducks? The kid who triple-deked his way into victory against the Hawks and almost had Coach Gordon Bombay as a stepdad? Well, he married her and had a kid with her! Oh, and I was told to mention that he was also Pacey on Dawson's Creek, which I've been told, falsely I might add, is bigger or somehow more important than the single greatest kids sports movie of all time. Sorry, Sandlot, you're a close number 2. Anyway, as I'm sure comes as a shock to all of you, their Hollywood marriage didn't last very long. But Mama Yas is trying to take this man to the cleaners. Oh boy, she's making insane demands for monthly alimony and child support that are absolutely ludicrous for anyone, let alone a working Hollywood actress. Oh, and her reasoning? Because she's a black woman. I'm not kidding. Just how much is this bald-headed harpy asking for? Find out today on Tooneytown TV. All right, guys, the Acolyte actress Jodie Turner-Smith demands $28,000 monthly alimony from X because of, quote, how difficult it is to be a black woman. Now, guys, that's not a misleading title. I didn't go with a headline here that was going to trick people into clicking. The woman actually said this. Look, we'll get into it. Let's get it. This woman right here, I mean, she is my worst nightmare in life. She is just everything wrong with modern society. She believes everyone owes her everything. She wants to smash the patriarchy, but at the same time, she wants alimony. I'm sure she would violently oppose women being drafted. You know, it's just the ultimate hypocrite. Yeah, this is the lady who yelled at Disney and wagged her finger at them and called everybody racist because they didn't attack their fans hard enough. Yes, if there's one thing Disney's known for, it's how kind they are to their fans. How kind they are to Star Wars fans in particular, yeah. Jodie Turner-Smith, best known for her role as Mother Aniseya, the head of the Coven of Lesbian Space Witches, in the failed and canceled Star Wars series The Acolyte, I always got to make sure I point out that it's failed and canceled, is making waves in her ongoing divorce from Dawson's Creek star, and more importantly, Mighty Ducks star, and less importantly, Dawson's Creek star, Joshua Jackson, after alleging he hasn't paid her child support since their official split in October. According to court documents and insider leaks, Turner-Smith is demanding, get this, guys, $28,641 per month in alimony and $8,543 per month in child support, as well as a staggering $250,000 in legal fees. Her reasoning, the challenges of, quote, being a black woman. Yep. You guys heard it here. I mean, look, you know what? Let's get a little refresher on just how out of touch she is with even just things like Star Wars.
So my character, you know, she's a powerful leader. She's a powerful leader. Yes. In a very woman-centered world, which I was very excited to kind of be that, because I feel like Star Wars is very like patriarchal, so it was kind of cool to have like this sort of woman-centered figure.
I'm sorry, you're a working actress in Hollywood. I think she has a TV show right now. I know Charlie Conway, Joshua Jackson, he has a, well, let's be real, Charlie Conway, that's the only thing that matters to me. I love the Mighty Ducks. So he is, he's got a show right now on TV. I think she does too. So the Acolyte wasn't like she was just betting it all on the Acolyte and now she's destitute. No, the Acolyte also had a $230 million budget, which I'm sure a pretty penny of that went to her. Where does somebody get off demanding almost $30,000 a month in alimony when they are a working actress making millions of dollars a year? This is the ultimate one percenter, guys. I cannot believe the audacity here. And yes, look, $8,543 per month in child support. That seems super high. Now, I'm not saying the guy shouldn't pay child support. Guys, take care of your kids. If there's one thing in this world that you do, you take care of your children. Okay, but $8,543 per month. I mean, what are you feeding her caviar and lobster every day? Also, $250,000 in legal fees. What did she hire Matlock? Like, seriously, guys, Smash JT hired Ron Coleman of the Dillon Law Group, the people that represent the incoming president of the United States. Okay, and he had to raise a retainer of $25,000. Where is she getting $250,000 from? She is just trying to rake this poor guy over the coals. Now, here are her financial demands. Turner-Smith, 37, claims that the alimony and legal fees are necessary due to her struggles as a black woman and single mother in Hollywood. And that's despite her starring roles in high-profile projects. Now, she goes, Josh promised to always support me and ensured that I would not have to worry about financial security for our daughter if we were ever separated, because he understood how difficult life can be as a black woman and a single mother. Guys, this is maybe the sentence in my life that I have read more than any sentence I have ever read, ever, in all my years on this planet. Because when I read this, I said to myself, there's no way that's what she said. I'm reading this wrong. I have to be reading this wrong. And I read it. And I read it. And I read it, and I read it, and I read it, and I read it. And no matter how many times I read it, it's what she said. She said that he said he should not have to worry about financial security for their daughter if they were ever separated, because he understood how difficult life can be as a black woman and a single mother. You are a Hollywood actress, you idiot. Do these people hear themselves when they talk? You got to think that they do, because people that are so in love with the sound of their own voice have got to actually listen when they talk. It must just be that they have a much different sense of right and wrong from the rest of us. I mean, this is just the definition of tone deaf, right? Insiders close to Jackson, however, have labeled the demands being unreasonable. Yet you think? Guys, here's the alimony is a broken system. I mean, working people are using alimony. The working people that don't need alimony from them. Now, look, I'm not saying child support. Child support is important. If you have a kid with someone and you get divorced, you are both financially supporting that child, until they turn 18. Alimony is money that is paid from one spouse to another to support them living. Typically, it's a husband paying money to his wife every month to support the standard of living she had become accustomed to. Now, this was from a time, obviously, when women weren't working as much. So things like alimony were needed, because otherwise women would just be trapped in these horrible marriages forever. That's not this situation, guys. This situation, by the way, shouldn't you think the concept of alimony is sexist, lady? Like, I don't know. We'll get into that later. But seriously, I mean, good Lord. People are using alimony in this country as just a way to bankroll their lifestyles when they don't need it. And it's disgusting. And this is maybe the ultimate example of it. Now, insiders close to Jackson, however, have labeled the demands unreasonable, which they are. And it's a particularly shocking amount given the couple's relatively short marriage of just 4 years. 4 years together, and you're like, I've grown accustomed to a certain style of living, and I need $28,000 of Dawson's Creek money. I know he's a working actor still. He's still making shows. He's got a TV show on right now. I just like to think of him as Charlie Conway. So it's Mighty Ducks money in my mind. But people tell me that it's not as big of a deal as Dawson's Creek. And yes, I was a kid in the early 2000s. I know what Dawson's Creek is. I heard all about, is she going to choose Pacey or Dawson? And I didn't care then, and I don't care now. What I do care about is whether this kid can hit the triple deke and get that goal to beat the Hawks and win the championship for the Ducks. Now, since their split, Jackson has reportedly found a new lease on life. Friends of the actor revealed to Life and Style that he's been exuding a newfound confidence and appears to be thriving after the separation. Yes, guys, that is what happens when you get rid of a soulless leech that is sapping away every last bit of your happiness. We've all been there, right? Right, people? I mean, men, women alike. You end a toxic, horrible, terrible relationship with just a atrocious person that you got sucked into, and you feel like the whole world is open to you. That's got to be what this poor guy's feeling like right now. Now, of course, this isn't the first time that she's courted controversy. Earlier this year, she lashed out at both Disney and Star Wars fans following the cancellation of The Acolyte. She blamed Disney for not standing up to supposed racism and misogyny among fans. This follows a trend of cast and crew members of the failed show blaming anything for the show's failure other than the widely reported financial mismanagement and poor audience reception. Now, in an interview, she accused Disney of failing to protect the actors of color and implied that Star Wars fans were unwilling to accept diversity on screen. And her comments drew backlash, obviously. And this is just goes to show, guys, this woman, everything she says is about race and gender, race and gender, race and gender. So Disney's got to stop doing this thing when they don't say anything, when people are getting effing dogpiled on the internet with racism and bull. It'd be nice, the people that have all the money were showing their support and putting their feet down and saying this is unacceptable. You're not a fan if you do this. Make a really big statement. Just see if any money leaves. Hey, lady, guess what? There was a little show called Obi-Wan Kenobi, which, if you were the Star Wars fan you professed to be in that interview, they did a Star Wars celebration, you would know. There was a situation where people claimed that there was racism going on against Moses Ingram, who was playing the role of Reva at the time, who was one of the most ridiculously empty-headed characters in the history of Star Wars. And literally, Disney responded by saying, "You're not a fan if you do this." They had Ewan McGregor sitting in his car, be like, "Yo, I'm not a Star Wars fan." It happened. Like, it's just, it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. I bet she won't, because people of color, especially black people, make up a very large percentage of buying power. They might find that's actually more lucrative for them, but everyone's using woke like it's a dirty word. This is the kind of people we're talking about when we talk about woke. When we talk about toxic woke culture, like, that's what we're talking about. We're talking about people like Jodie Turner-Smith, mama. Yes. And hey, newsflash for you, Jodie. They said you're not a fan if you do this. And you know what happened? Diminishing returns. So yes, the money, they made a really big statement and then watched all the money leave. What must it be like to be married to her? What must she have been? What must it have been like to come home after like a long day and just have, today my struggles as a black woman? Like, can you believe what they're saying about the Acolyte now? Maybe he was actually, maybe he married her as like a show of like support for the rest of all men. Maybe he bit the bullet and was like, look, somebody's got to marry this lady, and it's going to have to be me, and I'm going to make sure that I do it so that nobody else has to. But then after 4 years of it, he was just like, I can't do this anymore. No one can. You've asked too much of me, planet Earth. You've asked too much, and I cannot give any longer. And he just had to cut that cord, and now she wants $28,000 a month, nearly $29,000 a month from him, plus another $9,000 for child support, and then $250,000 in attorney fees. Good Lord. Saul Goodman wouldn't charge you that much. Anyway, I want to know what you guys think. Am I wrong on this subject? I mean, she's trying to hose this guy, and it's very, very clear. Do you think she's going to succeed? Because remember, they're in California. So sound off in the comments section below and let me know. Jodie Turner-Smith is one of the most vapid, empty-headed, artificial Hollywood head cases in Tinseltown. She's the woman who claimed that Star Wars has no female leaders and then made the ludicrous statement that Disney doesn't attack its fans enough. But apparently the horror that is this woman isn't limited to her public appearances and on-screen portrayals. I mean, honestly, can you imagine going on a date with a woman who talks the way that she does, where every word just drips with superiority, condescension, and yet at the same time victimhood, and then going out for more? Sorry, Charlie, you might have asked for this one. As I said before, alimony is a system that's grossly mishandled and abused in this country by working people who don't need it trying to get a payout. The concept of alimony is rooted in patriarchy, for God's sakes. It's a system where the man went to work and the woman stayed home and raised the kids while cooking and cleaning. Because of that, a woman in her 40s, let's say, could feasibly leave an abusive marriage with no ability to support herself or any hireable skills. And yet this woman who claimed that we needed to upend Star Wars because it was patriarchal is perfectly fine running to the masculine money tree like she's Mona Lisa Saperstein, holding her hand out and saying, "Money, please." What is it with strong, independent, militant feminists like this who scream down with the patriarchy and then want to be treated the same as a man, except for when there's free money to be had or a draft to dodge? Suddenly, then they're demure little flowers who'll bruise if the sun is too bright.
There's so much blood. I hope it doesn't get on my dress.
Alimony should be what it's always been for. Homemakers who passed on a career because they wanted to make a good life for their family in a situation where one spouse is the breadwinner. Now, as for child support, that's needed. Take care of your kids, people. But again, a working Hollywood actress needs almost $9,000 a month to take care of a kid. Now, alimony is not made for Hollywood narcissists who believe that the world owes them for simply existing. This working Hollywood actress, this soulless 1%er, thinks she's owed nearly 30 grand a month because it's hard to be a black woman?
Yes.
Lady, I'm willing to bet just about every person watching this video right now, regardless of what color their skin is, has it worse than you stuck-up, spoiled, pretentious little snob. And the real kicker here, the absolute cherry on top of this crap sundae, is if they live in California, there's a chance she's gonna get everything she wants. Because in a state that broken, I deserve this because I'm a black woman is a perfectly valid argument.
Oh, no, there's no money.
Oh, my bad. No problem.
Oh, okay.
That's fine. I'll just destroy this office.
Oh, hey! Thanks for joining us today, and thanks to our Tooneytown TV channel members. You guys are the glue that holds this network together, and for that, we thank you with exclusive content like Crime and Punishment, our true crime podcast, along with Kevin Apollo's rants and more. You also get early access to videos like this one, so if you're not a member of the Tooneytown TV channel, join today. And make sure to join us Thursday nights at 8 p.m. EST for Tooney Talk TV, a live stream pop culture podcast where you can make your voices heard as a part of the Tooneytown community. If you liked what you saw here today, please like, share, and subscribe. Click that bell icon to get notified of new videos as they drop. From all of us here at the Tooneytown channels, I'm Marvin the Movie Monster. Now get out of here!